This is the Great Legend, and I am coming at you live for July 30th, 2016. Fans, thank you so much for staying up late with the Legend tonight. Be going over some things that I've been doing lately. I haven't made a video, I guess, since last Sunday late night when I reviewed WWE Battleground. That was a great pay-per-view, by the way. If you're interested in wrestling or you like to hear about that, go back there and check that out. I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. I was real proud of the old WWE folks, because sometimes I call those filler pay-per-views. The big ones, of course, are WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Those are the big ones. Some of the others I just call filler pay-per-views. Tonight, drink a little Dr. Pepper here. You may notice what eye is it? It's this eye over here. Got a little sty in there. Looked like I was going toe-to-toe with Clubber Lang. Sorry I didn't come at y'all live last night. I was thinking about taking that little time spot, sliding my little time spot in a little before the Blast It or Stash It live show, which you can catch at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. I watched about 20 or 30 minutes of that, and then I fell asleep. I wasn't feeling too good. It's been a tough work week last week. I know a lot of you folks were doing y'all's working as well. Man, I was just tired, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't even like finish all of the Blast It or Stash It show. I was so tired. Tonight there have been some inquiries about the Blast It or Stash It silent live auction. I think right now the guys are kind of reevaluating that thing and may come back to some of that auction stuff at a later date. But a lot of folks have been so good about selling stuff offline. If you go to the Blast It or Stash It Facebook page, sign up for that. I mean, just post pics of all your stuff and, you know, let them PM you or Facebook Messenger or whatever for deals. I mean, it's really pretty dang cool. But, you know, they may do another, if they ever come back live, doing a live show, you know I'll be on there with some great deals. And maybe some deals not so great, but I got a lot of, like, books to go through and everything like that. I told myself today I wanted to work on my arcade cabinet and try to reseat the video card and try to get it going so I can bring y'all some more classic arcade gameplay. I want to give a big shout out to two of my viewers at the moment. We have Mr. Gretzky9966 and Huey's Comics, one of the main men of the Blast It or Stash It show. Great to see both of you guys. See, and Huey's one of the moderators over at that Facebook page, the Blast It or Stash It Facebook page. He says it's been getting a lot of good views, a lot of new sign-ups, so it's a hot place to be if you're a part of the YouTube comic book community, or maybe you're just not even in YouTube at all, and you don't even have a YouTube account. You're just a viewer that have happened to find this show. Check out the Blast It or Stash It Facebook page. You'll be glad you did. I got a awesome shout out coming at you live. The Comic Dude is in the house. Some of you may not have heard of the Comic Dude, but it's a reemergence of a familiar face. Comic Noob became Comic Dude. Because there's after a period of time where you're not a noob anymore, and you kind of, you know, you take the training wheels off and you just get on the bike and go, and that's how it is with the Comic Dude. And I keep moving my mouse to the corner and it's screwing up my computer. Gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. What I was going to go over tonight is just kind of what I've been doing throughout the week in my little comic book world, and pickups, hauls, and all that kind of stuff. I know everyone loves a good haul. I did get one package, and I don't know if this was from last week or if it was this week, but I will be opening this here in a minute. It was from mycomicshop.com. You know, back in the day, I used to get them big old boxes, but now they're just real light because, you know, don't have a lot on the current pull. These two books, well, this is the one shot. This was one of the books they talked about a couple weeks back on Blast It or Stash It, and this one was one of them too, the new Superman. And I'm going to give you a quick little review of those. and I found out, I can't remember who told me, but they said the rebirth on the bottom was the one shot. And what that one shot was, imagine it, and I don't know why they called it number one. They shouldn't even have numbered it, but I guess they had to. I don't know. But it's kind of like the zero issue, or it's like an issue that volume. I call the Green Lantern. I call the normal Green Lantern book volume. I guess it would be volume 6. Some people don't. Some people do. I call the Green Lantern of the Golden Age, the one with Alan Scott. I call that one volume 1. See, some people forget about that one. Volume 2 Green Lantern is the one after Showcase 22. You know, when they had when he started his own series. I call that volume 2. That's your Hal Jordan. Volume 3 Green Lantern was the one they did a little bit in the 80s and 90s, which I hate. Volume 3, it's the one where he has the white in his hair. I don't like that Hal Jordan at all. I mean, it's classic Hal Jordan, but it's not my favorite stuff. And then Volume 4, of course, is the beginning of the Jeff Johns run, which was just probably one of the greatest runs in modern day comic history to me. I love Jeff Johns, and man, when he did a Green Lantern, he did it right. Volume 5, of course, would be your New 52 Green Lantern. And Volume 6 would be Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Now, I know a lot of you are like, no, what about the Green Lanterns with Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz? I was like, you know, that's great. I mean, and that's what they should have called it. They should have called that the Green, it's Green Lanterns. But to me, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, this takes off kind of after where the New 52 series ended. This issue talks about what I liked, and I give this 5 stars because I'm just a big Green Lantern fan. But Hal Jordan here, it talks about him. He was the renegade. He had the gauntlet, the long hair, the trench coat, and all that stuff. And he had that gauntlet. And then he went on a quest of, I guess, when people climb Mount Everest, a spiritual journey. He went on one of those, and he was actually able to forge and create his own Green Lantern ring, which the Guardians for years have been saying you couldn't do that. Hal Jordan did that, so he broke the mold on that. And I read the issue digitally because I haven't got it yet, but the just normal series, I guess, if you will, I don't know. This is going to Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. So, I mean, this is a brand new title, so it's a volume 1. But anyway, it takes place after the New 52 series, where Sinestro is in control of the whole universe with the Sinestro Corps, pretty much. All the other lanterns are fizzled out, God knows where. I guess we're going to find out. But the new number 1 that came out Wednesday, I read it digital, and it was really good. And at the end, we do find out that the Corps is still alive. And since I didn't read, there's a lot of the Green Lantern books. The last, all of my reading is so sporadic because sometimes I'll go a while without reading. So I did the Lights Out, New 52, the Lights Out storyline, where they thought Kyle Rayner had died, the White Lantern, but he actually was still living. I kind of stopped reading around there. I didn't get into when he was the Renegade and all that stuff, but I don't know. It showed Guy Gardner, I think, as a Green Lantern at the end, so I don't know if he's not a Red Lantern anymore or not, so I don't know, but this series is really good. To me, this is the series to get if you only want to do one Green Lantern. Actually, probably get both of them. But man, my Green Lantern, my favorite Green Lantern is always Hal Jordan. And I've got my Hal Jordan, one of my Hal Jordan first appearances right here, Showcase 22, restored grade 5.5 with minor color touch. I'm going to talk about this book here in a minute, because I don't want to go too long tonight unless I have to go long, you know what I'm saying. Want to give a big shout out again to Kyle Waka's in the house. Kyle, thank you so much for watching. Huey's Comics, Mr. Gretzky, and Comic Dude. They are the current 4 people watching. I'm not actually watching my own show. I just have it on the, what is this thing called? The Live Hub or whatever I'm doing here, and I hope it's coming out pretty good. I haven't even really tested for sound. Comic Dude said, I'd never read Green Lantern until now, and I enjoy it. And that's really awesome, because Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, I mean, like, In the 90s, I was a big Marvel guy. Well, I think a lot of us were big Marvel guys in the 90s because what did we watch every Saturday morning? Dun, 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 we watched that X-Men shit, man. That was a damn great show. And the only DC I was even into back then was watching the Batman animated series. Now, I thought that was just amazing. But, yeah, I read a lot of Marvel, and, I was always a big fan of, as a kid growing up, of the Fantastic Four from watching the 67 Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four cartoon that they put out, and I watched those on reruns a lot. So that was kind of my deal, and then, Image Comics in the 90s, got sucked into a little bit of that stuff. I mean, just all that good stuff. But anyways, fans, again, pick up these Hal Jordan Green Lanterns. Give them a shot. They're really good. Love the covers, too. Next one I read, and man, I forgot my Watchmen hardcover. I was going to tell you a little bit about that. I've been reading the Watchmen, but let me talk about this one first. This book here, of course, I guess I'm going to call it, I don't know if I ought to call it first appearance or cameo. Was Batman Superman 32. Because, in comic books, not everybody has to have a cameo, But I really consider this to be the first appearance, I think, because we get the character's name. He's not shaded or shadowed by any means. Whereas Batman Superman 32, he was kind of shaded and shadowed. You know what I mean? And I think that's cameo. Even though he was on maybe 2 or 3 pages still. I consider this to be this guy's first appearance. The new Superman. I just read this today. I don't even remember the guy's name, but he was chasing. He started the story as a guy that had some anger issues and he couldn't let stuff go because he was mad what happened. He was mad at what happened to his mom. His mom died in a plane crash, and the plane crash company was owned or ran by this other Chinese family, and this guy is about the same age as the airplane guy's son, the guy that owned the airplane or ran the airplane factory thing. About the same age as that kid, but this guy here starts the thing as he's kind of like a bully, and he bullies this other kid, and then this supervillain that comes out of nowhere, some Chinese supervillain, don't even remember the guy's name, but he was attacking the kid, or he wanted to kidnap the kid. Well, this guy threw a soda can at the guy and hit him in the head, and then he dropped the kid and he flew off. So they caught it on video. This guy's an instant sensation, saves the day and all that stuff. And then I remember her name. Her name was Dr. Omen. She comes in and said, that's our guy. So they take him to the science research place, and they give him Superman-type powers. And from Batman Superman 32, we find out that it's really weird. It's like, I don't know if the Batman 32 was like a story that's set in the future or if this is just set in the past from that timeline, but he just flies off. But I think we'll find out in next month's issue that he gets grounded back at the laboratory where they're working on him, and they kind of trap him in that tube thing. We also find out there's a Chinese Batman, Chinese Superman. I mean, just a really cool story. But kind of weird right now because, well, it's not weird, it's just kind of like, did the thing in Batman 32 not happen yet in this storyline, or will it happen? See, I don't really know, because New 52 Superman, if you didn't know, he ain't around no more. So, I mean, like, we'll see. It's confusing, but it's a great story regardless. So, those are the 2 single issues I read, plus I read the one, plus I read this one, which is the normal #1 that came out this week. Again, thought it was a good book because I really like Sinestro. That's one first appearance I don't have. It's like, yeah, it's one that I like. I've got a shit ton of first appearances or something. But I think that I love that character, and I love the dynamic between him and Hal Jordan. And what was really cool, not this book, but the book I read this week, some of the Yellow Lanterns, Hal Jordan comes up on them, or 2 of them come up on him, and they're like, Hal Jordan? Like, where the fuck did you come from? I thought that was fucking cool. So those 2 Yellow Lanterns, Sinestro Corps, they'll go back and tell Sinestro about Hal Jordan. All right. Now I want to talk a little bit about the book I've been reading most of the week and last week, It's a big, big book. It is The Watchmen, the ultimate deluxe hardcover version of The Watchmen. I've got 3 more parts of it to go, so if we were doing the 12 issues, I would be on issue number 10, or aka the 10th chapter, or the 10th hour, you know. But damn, man, that Watchmen. I was a big fan of the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. But the book is so much better because you get like a lot more than what the movie had in it. And I own the director's cut of the movie, so I already have. I mean, that has a lot of that has more movie than the normal theatrical version, the director's cut. So I thought that was a lot. But man, the book even has so much more in there. So man, it's like everything Watchmen kind of complements each other. So man, I'm loving the hell out of the book, and I can understand why they say that it's the greatest graphic novel of all time. Even though that, in a sense, kind of pisses me off, like when they do stuff like that. Oh, that's one of the greatest graphic novels ever written. Well, a lot of times the mainstream media and the mainstream people that read just go to the library and read the hardcovers. They don't know that that was actually single issues first. That kind of pisses me off. They think, oh yeah, this isn't a comic book, this is a graphic novel, they're different. It's like, no, they're actually the same damn thing. So want to give a quick shout out to another one of my good friends on the YouTube, Count Von Strange. But Count Von Strange has a bunch of comics, a lot of Walking Dead, a lot of horror. I think you do a lot of DC, a little bit of DC. I can't remember. I've been really crappy lately. I admit it. I've been kind of crappy. I haven't been watching everyone's videos. And Comic Dude has some good news. He finally filled up his first long box. Almost filled up a long box. Man, that's amazing, because long boxes, oh God, they're so damn heavy when they're full. I prefer short boxes, but I have 4 long boxes, I believe. Maybe 3. But yeah, long boxes. What I do is I'll keep all my current stuff, or stuff I haven't sorted or gone through. Yeah, I do have 4 long boxes. I keep all those in long boxes, and then once I'm done, you know, and I've got to resort through all my short drawer boxes here, and I may actually be selling some of my new 52 off, like Green Arrow. I may sell that whole run of Green Arrow off. I mean, it was a damn good. I really enjoyed the stories, especially that one story I was reading in there. I don't know, I may reread them before I sell them. I always say that, because sometimes with comic books, you're like, do I really want to give those up, or do I want to hold on to them? So it's really hard sometimes, you know, like that. You don't know whether to hold on to the books or get rid of them. That sucks, because sometimes they really fill up. But what I'm looking into doing, since I'm not getting a lot of current pull, I'm only getting these books here currently. Actually, I take that back. This box here, I think, is one of the ones that I'll just have to open it up and see. But anyway, yeah, this I do get some things every now and then ordered, you know, because what I'll do, and what I love about watching y'all on YouTube, or especially watching Comic Dude, formerly Comic Dude, he'll let me know kind of like what to look out for, or like some of the good stuff that is coming out on the Wednesday. And I used to be really good about it. I used to work on Tuesday nights at my older job. And what I was able to do, I would get on mycomicshop.com, and I would get all the variants that I needed, or the 1 in 100s, the 1 in 25s. You know, if I bought those, I mean, they were kind of pricey, but if there was a variant or something special that I needed to get that I didn't have on my pull, I could, they would, oh man, I don't even know if I should be telling y'all this stuff, because then everyone would be buying it, but I don't really care. It's not a big deal no more. But on Tuesday nights, if you get on mycomicshop.com on Tuesday nights, yeah, you know what? I ought to tell y'all, because y'all are my fans and friends watching this video. But if you get on mycomicshop.com Tuesday nights, go there about, I usually did it about 7 o'clock. They'll have all of their stuff available to put in the cart, and then that's where you can get that stuff. So let's unbox this. This is a My Comic Shop thing. This came either, well, today is Saturday. I don't know if I got any, I don't think I got any comics in the mail today, which kind of sucks. Sometimes when I do the stuff I pre-order 2 months out, aka it's my version of the pull list, um, I have them sent. Since I don't get that much, I go ahead and just have them send me. They send stuff to me monthly, so sometimes I get stuff just monthly. Sometimes I get stuff weekly, like if it's something important and I really want that item. But really, I've got so much to read, there's no hurry, you know. So let's see what this is. Oh, wow, it's just going to be, I think, one book, but it's wrapped like 1,000 times over in here. Which is alright. I shouldn't complain, because this is actually good shipping material. Whoa, and I keep all my shipping material, so that's fine. Yay, okay, that's what I figured this was. So it's the book I was thinking about. Roll this up real quick. Toss it over there for now. Okay, let me scoot these two books over here. Be real careful taking this off the cardboard, because I'll save this bottom piece of cardboard and I'll put back in this this box here. I can tape books to this cardboard here, and then just put it in there and put a piece of cardboard on top. And that's a great way to mail about, I would say, no more than 3 books, maybe 5. Well, yeah, about. No, I could get more in there. I could probably get 3 in that box there. So we'll see what's going on. Again, thank y'all so much for watching tonight. I know it's kind of later, but I took a nap today because my eye was kind of hurting. Like I said, it's just been a really long week. Alright. Put that trash there. Yeah, look at that. Awesome. So I've already got issue 1 of these, and I'm not going to read them at the moment. Wow, look at that. That is like really weird. On the backing boards, if you look really close, you could see some color right there. And it looks like color from the actual comic book. Very weird. It's almost if these are like fresh off of the actual printer, you know, because the inks are kind of moist a little on there. Let's look at that. May leave these out. Oh, maybe just in the corner. Yeah, that's a nice book. That's clean right there. That's a beautiful cut and everything. You know, this one would probably garner a 9.8 if I sent it off. I mean, it is just cut. I mean, it's cut nice. You know, it came off it nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, came off the cutter nice. Very sharp book. Of course, this is issue 2 of Tales from the Dark Side. Loved watching this growing up. Used to stay up late on. It was trying to remember if we watched it on Friday or Saturday night back when we were kids. It came on the VHF, not the one with the ABC, NBC, CBS. I think that's UHF. These come on the VHF back in the day, back in the 80s. And that's the subscription cover. So for these, each one usually has a regular cover and subscription cover. These are done by IDW. I haven't read issue 1. This is going to be a 4-issue mini. So I was going to read all 4 issues back to back to back to back. Yeah, that's right. But I like Tales from the Dark Side. I got the complete series on DVD. Came on like 3 DVD discs or whatever. And I'll have to do a review video once I get all those watched again. I know I watched a lot of Tales from the Dark Side growing up. See, on Friday nights, me and my brother, we would spend the night at my grandmother's house back in the day. My dad had 2 jobs. Taught school by day, did Tom Thumb produce by night. Mom left us young, early in the years. You know, that's not to say me and Mom got a shitty relationship or anything, you know. I try to see her when I can, but it's been a while, you know, because she lives far away. So we used to spend the night at grandmother's house. Grandmother was like my second mom, you know what I'm saying? So we spend the night down there on Friday night. We stay up late. We watched this Tales from the Dark Side, and man, it was a damn good scary show. We were really young at the time. And then I think, yeah, then the Saturday morning, we watched the Saturday morning cartoons, Land of the Lost, you know, stuff like that. But then, also through those years, on Monday through Thursday, we would sometimes spend the night there because my dad, you know, after school, we'd just take the bus to my grandmother's house. And then after, you know, my dad got out of school because he taught school, he would go work at Tom Thumb till real late at night. And then, you know, he'd do his thing. So, I'm trying to remember all this. This is good times back in the day. My older brother's no longer with me. He passed away in '96. So I kind of like reminiscing of the old times, you know, because it was a lot of fun. So we would stay up late, and we had this little shitty ass TV in the bedroom. It was maybe like I guess a 15-inch, maybe 16 or 17-inch. I don't know what it was. Big old CRT with the antenna on the top. But well, we used to stay up late, and on it was called KDFI, channel 27. We would watch the Black and White, the old Rod Sterling or Ron Sterling, whatever his name is, the Twilight Zone. And then we would wait about an hour after that show, or 30 minutes, whatnot, watch Alfred Hitchcock Presents Black and White. Man, that was the old school. Those were the shows that made it possible for shit like this to come out. Although I know George Romero played a big part in getting Tales from the Dark Side going as well. But those kind of mysterious shows are actually, you know, let's go back even further, 1950s, EC Comics, Vault of Horror, Tales from the Crypt, suspense, mysteries, and all that. That's kind of what all of that, you know, that was that era, you know. So like in the 50s when all those shows kind of started hitting the fruitation, that's kind of, you can go back, you can say, okay, how about Friday the 13th, the series? Remember that shit with Jack Marshak? And after that, when we would watch Friday the 13th series, we'd watch, I don't know if Monsters came on after that. Remember that show called Monsters? Because after this thing ran its course, they came out Friday the 13th, the series. They had Monsters. Then they had some other ones. HBO started doing Tales from the Crypt. Just all those kind of like little horror shows. But they can, if you look at the history in television and in comics, they can all go back to the 50s, and I guess those can go back to 1931 when Universal Pictures came out with Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi, directed by Carl Lumley, I think his name was. And then of course 1931. God, I almost said Jules White, but he was a famous director for the Three Stooges shorts. But no, there was a Boris Karloff's Frankenstein movie came out. Probably look at those two big events in history, movie history, and see that's when the horror kind of started coming around. So anyway, that's my haul of the week, I guess. My Green Lantern, I don't know when that book's coming in. I may have told them to send that because I didn't have that on my subscription service. I only started getting it after Comic Dude and them told me how good it was. And then I was able to pick that issue. Chinese Superman, I was able to pick him up. And I'm glad I did. So, and I think what they've done with the new Superman, this one for instance, I think this is coming out every 2 months. So, and I don't know how long they're going to go with this story. They may keep this volume kind of light. I don't know if they'll go real far with it, but I'm glad to have that volume. I mean, this will make a very nice hardcover one of these days. So I'm looking at this thing to go only 8 issues. Not positive how far they'll go with it, but I think they'll go about 8 issues with it. And I think it would be a good little story. I kind of didn't like that girl's name, I don't even remember what the damn name was, but it sounded too close to Lois Lane. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cheesy, but kind of funny. Alright, next up I want to show you some of the videos. I got a little video haul this week. First and foremost, the one I'm probably going to watch after I'm done here. Living on a Razor's Edge. The Scott Hall story. 2-disc set on Blu-ray. Say hello to the bad guy. For the first time ever, WWE Home Video sits down with Scott Hall as he takes the WWE Universe on a very personal journey through his entire sports entertainment career. From his meteoric rise in WWE as Razor Ramon to being one of the founding members of the notorious group known as NWO, to overcoming personal demons to become the man he is today, the story of redemption shows that it ain't how many times you go down, it's how many times you get back up. That's Scott Hall. This is my all-time favorite professional wrestler. And I love a lot of wrestlers, but this guy, man, he had the machismo, you know what I'm saying? This also has it has matches featuring Shawn Michaels, Diesel, 1-2-3 Kid, Bret the Hitman Hart, Rick the Model Martel, Sting, Lex Luger, Chris Jericho, Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and more. Boy, I love this, man. Look at the back. Look at it. That's Razor right there. Razor in his prime, dude. I mean, like, if it wasn't for the drugs and the beer and the alcohol and all that stuff, this guy would have been multiple-time world heavyweight champion. I think the only problem with it was, I mean, like, at the time, Vince had Shawn Michaels, Diesel was just a behemoth, but Hall, man, was like, look at that, man, look at that. Man, look at that dude, man. I don't know why they didn't give him the damn strap. You know, he got the Intercontinental and all that, but, dude, I tell you. All right, next up, we got Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Look at that. Ain't that nice? Got a black Blu-ray cover case. So I've seen this in the theaters. My wife hadn't seen it. I think my oldest has seen it, but my wife hadn't seen it yet. My youngest, he don't really care much for this stuff because those are long movies. He might get bored. And then I got this one here. The Batman Superman, The Dawn of Justice. This is like a 3D version. Ultimate Edition. This has the extended cut with the 30 more minutes in it. Now, I don't know if the 30 minutes is on the 3D version or not. So I'll have to kind of look into that, or see what it says when I open up the box or whatnot. What does it look like? This looks like that on the inside, but I'll kind of have to research that because I do want to see. I heard it was better watching the longer cut of it, so you get more explanation and everything. So definitely want to see that. So I got those 3 awesome movies. Let me check the comments, and I'm going to go into a little CGC rant. I've been watching too many of those Marky 316 videos. All right. DB. David Benavidez. He says, what's up, Gary? 1-2-3 Kid beat Razor. I know, and you know what? Oh, Sean Waltman. He owes a lot to Scott Hall for doing that, because everyone else in the WWE didn't want to lose to the 1-2-3 Kid, Lightning Kid over in Japan. I mean, back when Waltman was in his prime, man, he was an excellent wrestler too. He was kind of small, but the one guy that stood up for him in that locker room was Scott Hall. And man, him and Hall, I can't wait to rewatch some of those matches because those were awesome. That was the very first time I ever seen anyone do a front flip off of the top turnbuckle onto their opponent. yeah. DB David says, I hate 1-2-3 Kid. Razor Edge his ass all day if he wanted to. And I thought that was funny. In Count Von Strange, they did have the resurrection of Jake the Snake. I don't know if it's on Netflix or not, but if it is, dude, I need to watch that because I don't think I've watched it yet. Or did I watch it? God, I can't even remember if I watched that or not. I need to watch that, though. Yeah, Count Von Strange, big horror fan. Old school Hitchcock horror and Romero zombies are the best kinds. A classic. The classic. Yeah, and Count, you got to order some of these Tales from the Dark Sides, or at least, I'm reading that WrestleMania 10, Kyle says, HBK versus the Razor ladder match, man. Very first ladder match. I'm sure they had other ladder matches in the world, but for WWE, that was like one of the best. The first is like always the best of all time. But yeah, Count. Definitely when that thing comes out in a hardcover, pick up that nice. Nope, the IDW will do it right, or you pick up the singles. I mean, they're only on issue 2, and it's going to be 4 issues. So if you click on the link down in the description, mycomicshop.com, just click on that link in the description to go to that website after you're done watching this. Pick you up some of these Tales from the Dark Sides. They have this one's the regular cover, and every one of them has a regular cover and a subscription cover. And I think number 1 has the 1 in 10 cover variant, whatnot. So let's see. Okay, it sure was. Oh yeah, The Wrestler. Yeah, I have that movie, the old one with old who is that guy? Used to be a pretty boy, and then he got into boxing. He was in that movie with Kim Basinger back in the day. What was the name of that guy, The Wrestler? Huey, do you know that old classic movie? Anyway, y'all let me know in the comments who played that wrestler in that movie, because he's a great actor. He also was in Iron Man 2 as the bad guy, as that Russian bad guy. Alright, last but not least, I want to show Mickey Rourke. There you go. That's right, comic dude. Got my shit. See, I got all tongue-tied and shit. Alright, so I want to show you some CGC books. And I'm going to send these back to CGC. I just need to do a little bit of research. And let me look real quick, if you don't mind. I want to see if this company does. I have a book I want to get pressed. Okay, and I think they do pressing. Yeah, it's called CCS. It's Classic Collectible Services. They're part of CGC. And I have one book. Actually, I have 2 books I need to send to this company. One is this book here. This is All-Star Western. Sorry for the glare. This is All-Star Western number 10. These were Western stories. It had usually about 3 Western cowboy stories in them. And this one here is the very first appearance of Jonah Hex. Now, 9.6. Great legend, great legend. Why do you want to send this off to get pressed? Well, inside this book, now, mind you also, this is a thicker CGC case, too. Let me show you this CGC case. I'll put them kind of right by each other. See if you can kind of... I don't know if you can tell since they're in Mylar. Let's see which one that's All-Star. Anyway, this one is maybe... This one's probably 1/3 of an inch in thickness. This is that Green Lantern, and this one is like... I'd probably say like... maybe a whole centimeter or something, but this book right here, this book has waviness to it. See? At the middle L, out kind of dips like a little hill. Has like waviness to it. And I don't really know why. I mean, this got a 9.6. I mean, it's really good for an old book. But I think, well, it's when I press down, when I press the plastic together, really, like when I press it down, the pressure of that gets rid of the waviness. So what I really want to do with this book is See, I don't know what I want to do with this. I mean, I could just get it a new case, and maybe if they, because the new case would only cost about 11 or 15 bucks. I can't remember what it cost just to get it re-slabbed, but they would be able to press down on it. But even on the back, it kind of waves up a little bit over the book. I mean, the book still looks really nice, but I don't like that waviness, because for the long run, I heard that waviness in these things can only get worse with time. So with this Jonah Hex first appearance, I'm probably going to be sending it to the CCS people to do their pressing, and that's like in-house pressing for CGC. So I'll get them to press this book and then re-slab the book. I'm not looking to get a 9.8, and I'm actually thinking this book may even drop in grade. I don't know, like, or maybe it'll stay the same grade, but it could also drop in grade as well. But I want to get this primarily just so this book stays in a good condition for years to come. So I want to do that before, before any further damage occurs. So I'll probably be signing up for CCS tomorrow. And I was talking to Comic Dude. I was telling him I always submitted my books through Mile High Comics through the other website submission, but now I'm actually going to have to become a member of CGC and CCS to get some shit done. So I want to get this book pressed by CCS and then let CGC grade it again. This book here, Showcase 22, Hal Jordan's first appearance. This has minor, the restoration, it's a restored book, it's a 5.5. Restoration includes a small amount of color touch on the cover. So the CCS folks, the same people that do pressing, can also go through and do unrestoration. They can take off the color touch. I mean, it will lower the grade of this book, and that's fine. I hope it gets a 4.0 or higher. Because CGC, their graded book of this, usually goes 1,000 for each number. So if it's 1.0, it'd be 1,000 probably. If it's 2.0, 2,000. 3.0, 3,000. So I want to try to get about a 4.0 off this. So I need to sign up. Probably sign up tomorrow because I want to watch that Scott Hall movie. But sign up I may sign up tonight. But I want to get this one sent to them, let them work on it, and then get it to CGC. Hopefully it'll get the blue label on it, and then this puppy will go on eBay. I already have a copy of this book at a 6.5, so that is that. And then once I'm done with those two CGC books, or once I deal with my CGC, I'll probably start sending stuff solely to CBCS because the new, I hear the new cases on these books aren't that great. Now, I was watching Marky 316's videos, and he's talking about the Newton rings, and that's just there's too much pressure on the case when they encapsulate. So right behind the plastic, you have something called the inner well, which is like a real heavy-duty, thick mylar. I think it's about maybe a 4 mil on both sides of it. So they encase it inside that little thing and heat it all the way around so it seals the comic in that inner well. And I think it's about a 4 mil mylar, real thick mylar, kind of like those mylar archives, that you can put comics in through the top. And then of course they heat these posts, and then they slab it in this plastic. So definitely want to get those done. Now, a lot of people complain with Mylar, and you can actually test the effect out if you like Isaac Newton and you like rainbows. You can push 2 Mylar bags together, and you can see that rainbow effect all day if that's your thing. I don't really care much about the whole rainbow effect thing. Usually if you push down on the casing itself, it can kind of work its way out. It's kind of like squeezing air bubbles off of a phone case, if you put a screen protector on a phone. It's kind of like pressing air bubbles out. You can try to like massage them out or, you know, press down on it. But pretty much this kind of stuff, fans, you know, a lot of people care about presentation and all that. Now, this thing here is waviness. I want to get that damn thing fixed. This bad boy's getting flipped when it gets a blue label on it. But I don't really, you know, I have some CGC books, but they're not really like on display or framed or anything like that. They're just kind of like put everywhere because I don't have a lot of room in here because I got to clean this room up. But I can give two shits about the Newton rings and the colors and the rainbows and all that shit. As long as the book is protected in the slab and as long as it stays that, you know, as long as it stays a 9 point whatever for as many years as it's in this slab. See, I just put these in my CGC box. They all stand up vertically, real nice. I got the Mylar bags on them. And fans, if you're interested in CGC Mylars, I sell CGC Mylars. So if you're, I need to make my own video just about that, but I do sell CGC Mylars. So if you ever want to buy like Mylar bags for CGC, I usually sell 10 in quantities of 10, but I can go lower. You know, I could sell them in quantities of 5, but I'd rather not ship out just one bag to somebody. That's kind of a waste. But I do sell CGC Mylar bags, so private message me if you're interested in that. And fans, that does it for tonight's show pretty much. Hopefully it wasn't too long and all that good stuff. But I had a great time showing you some tales from the dark side, which I told you I was going to read these once. Well, look at all that. Looks like one of those, if you cross your eyes and look at the thing, you can see a 3D image. But no, that's just a shitty polybag. But thanks for listening to my reviews over the Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, the all-new Superman. I'm going to be enjoying these movies that I showed you tonight, the Batman, Superman, the Star Wars, and the Scott Hall story. Some new video pickups, and I actually got those, I think, last week. I just never had a chance to show them off. Still working. Going to be fiddling with the arcade machine, try to get some more games from there. Like I said, I'm going to keep y'all posted on these CGC books because I haven't done any business with CGC probably since I got this book back from them a long time ago. But these are going to all come back, I guess, with the brand new CGC case. Now, what will be interesting, this one is a 52 pages comic book, and this casing is thicker. I mean, like wider, you know, as far as like, you know, like you got like a little case about like that, then that one's a little wider. It has more pages, so it'll be interesting to see if it gets a wider plastic case. I hope they don't stick a 52-page comic in and compress that damn thing real tight, because man, there'll be more rainbows in there than rainbows coming out of Lucky Charms' asshole. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we'll mess with that when the time arises, and I'll get signed up to become an official member of CGC. Like I said, just a bunch of bad shit I've been hearing about them, and you know, ever since that one of the founding members of the CGC, that one guy, he went off and did his own company, CBCS. Now, one thing I've been hearing not a lot of people like the new CBCS labels. I can really care less about that. I don't really care. I just get these things graded and slabbed if the comic book's important to me, or if I want to make more money down the road. If I need to sell the book, at least I know if it's graded, it goes for more money than a raw book. Ooh, damn, Gretzky. Gretzky says, I got 22 CGC PGX books. That's good. A lot of graded books there. I'm reading DB's comment. Story of my life, hearing someone telling me it needs to be bigger and wider. Hey, Tat's Comics is here. Hey, thank you so much, Tat, for coming by. Trinity's here. Old Mr. Jeremy, I'm late to the game tonight, but I'll catch an upload. I want to hear the review. Haha, I'm digging the Hal Jordan book. Yeah, I read that Hal Jordan, man. I read the one from Wednesday, and I read the Rebirth. Someone said Barry Horowitz. Yeah, he was a classic. What we call him now in the business is their enhancement talent. They are used to enhance the talent of others. Perfect example is there's this guy. His name's the Perfect 10. Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. He's in NXT. Awesome wrestler. Really fucking seasoned. Great wrestler. And he puts on excellent matches. And he could go with the best of them. But he usually loses the matches because he's enhancement talent. Although, you know, if the media and the machine gets behind the guy, I mean, he could be as good as anybody else. You know what I mean? Really great wrestler. The fans, again, I want to thank you so much for watching the Great Legend Show tonight. I'll probably be going back and changing the title for tomorrow, so I'll put the Great Legend Show 0731-2016 for July 30th, actually. I mean, we're ending on the 31st, but the video started back on the 30th. So we've been filming for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Pretty cool. All right, everybody. This is the Great Legend. Make sure I get it all done here. Thanks so much again. Saying peace out. God bless.